Hey all you Pokemon fans out there, N here, and today is a very special video. This is the first video of my How to Draw segment, aka Zoroart. And we shall commend this first video by teaching you how to draw Zorua. So without further ado, shall we begin? First off, we're going to make just a little undercurve here. Now I like to use as light strokes as possible, because even the best artists out there will make plenty of mistakes, so lighter the strokes, the easier it is to erase. Next up, we're going to make a little curve right here. A little more of an upward curve. That's where gonna be that's gonna be where his nose is. And let's go ahead and draw his little nose, just a tiny little oval there. And next thing we're gonna do is draw the little fur spikes on the side of his face. Just gonna be 2 triangles there. Second one's going to be bigger than the first. And then from right here, going to have to zoom in a little bit so you can see this. Then right here, we're going to draw just a tiny little curve here. And right here is where we're going to draw his ear. Now I'm going to turn this a little bit just because I'm able to do this better this way and be able to teach you much better. I apologize for the angle. Right here we're going to draw kind of a curved triangle. It's going to be his ear. I'm going to stop right about there. And then right around here, so we're going to make another curve. This is going to be the little fluff thing on his head. And yes, I say fluff thing. Yeah, this drawing has many curves to it, so be prepared for that. And then right around here is where we're going to finish up his face with another curve. Kind of a half circle, if you will. And then right here we're going to make his other ear. Just another rounded triangle. I'll turn that back for you, see? And next up we're going to add a little detail to his little fluff ball. Just some jagged lines there. And next up, we're just going to add some detailing to the ears. Same as the outside, rounded triangles. I'm truly excited to be doing this. I know I said I'd be doing this for a little while now, and after some time, I'm finally able to get it up. So, next up is going to be the other side spikes on his face. Well, fur spikes, if you will. Gonna be the same rule. One's going to be taller than the other. And next up, we're going to work on his eyes. Apologize again. Going to turn the camera here. Because the eyes are any pair of eyes can be a little complicated, so I just have to do this so I'm able to do it better. Once again, if this bothers you, please forgive me. Just gonna draw an oval here. Then a little bit more to the left. Not sure if you can see that or not. A little bit more to the left, we're going to draw another oval. Just the slightest amount bigger. Don't want to make it too bigger. Alright. Turn it back. Let's go ahead and add a little line there. Just to show off his mouth. And then we're going to add some more detailing to the eyes. Gonna get you just a little bit closer there. We're going to start off with his eyelids. Just some cross lines going opposite directions. And then another kind of an oval curve here. Same thing with the other eye, just opposite direction. And then for pupils, we're going to add a half oval on the top. Alright, and those are his eyes. Next up, we shall draw 2 more ovals above his eyes. These are just regular ovals, nothing special. Alright. Next up, we're actually going to zoom out here a bit. That about takes care of his head, so what we're going to do next is draw the fur around his head or neck. So as you guessed, they're just going to be little jagged patterns showing off his fur. This is the pattern I'm choosing to do, but there really is no wrong way of doing the pattern. You could really do it any way you want. The way I'm doing it here is just lots of triangles here. That's the little pattern around his neck. And next up, gonna zoom out a bit more. We're actually going to work on his body now. It's just gonna be a line here. And from here, we're actually going to curve down and just slant just a little bit there. It's also going to be his hind leg. Curve it up here. Gonna stop right about there and make another little curve here. It's gonna be his belly. And then we're gonna go ahead and add his other hind leg here. Next up, we get to work on his front legs now. Start with the first one there. And the second one, we're gonna add right about there. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. See what I mean? Light strokes, clear erase. Yes, I am certainly no exception to the mistake rule. I make plenty of mistakes whenever I draw, so. Next up, we're going to work on his tail. Just kind of a little bushy thing here. Again, there's a couple other ways you could do the tail. No real wrong way, this is just the way I'm doing it. And next up, we're going to add little smiles on his feet. I know they're curves, but I just like to call them smiles. And that right there is the basic outline of little Zorua there. Next up, what we're going to do is actually ink it up now. And when I say ink it up, I mean trace over it with pen. Now these are special manga pens that I use, but really you could just use any pen, or if you really want to, you could just darken it. Just darken it with your pencil. And what I mean by that, just press harder with the pencil, tracing over it. Really doesn't matter either way to me, or in general. So first up, we're going to trace over his head. Now with pen, you gotta be a little bit more careful, because with this stuff, if you make a mistake, there is no correcting it. So do not be afraid to take your time. The old saying, slow and steady wins the race. That is especially true for art. So while I'm doing all this, I'm curious. A lot of updates have been going on lately in the Pokemon world. I just want to know which one has grabbed your curiosity the most. So, just leave a comment saying which of the updates grabbed your curiosity. I'm pretty curious myself. I know I'm saying curious a lot, but one way to describe it. Yeah, this process can take a little time sometimes, but the result is always worth it, in my opinion. And for those of you, if you by any chance don't have any of these special pens, do not worry about it. Because honestly, the only thing you truly need for art is any pencil. I've made plenty of projects that I got a lot of positive feedback on, and I kid you not, I used nothing but a chewed up pencil from school, so it's definitely not tools that make you an artist, rather it takes an artist to make the tools great, so. Alright, I'm going to detail his face next. I'm actually going to use a thinner one. This one is the 03, the one I used before was an 08. Let's get that little mouth of his. Now, I'm not sure what these old things on his head are. I think there probably are his eyebrows, but in the Pokemon world you can never be too sure. Those could be what make his illusions happen for all I know. Alright, that takes care of his head and fluff. Next up, gonna detail the rest of the body. Detail, I mean ink. Or this could be detailing as well. Let's go ahead and chase that lily. Yeah, I'm pretty happy how this Zorua came out, honestly. And last but not least, we'll ink up his tail. Okay, and I just noticed I almost forgot to ink up his pupil. That definitely would have been bad. So there is Zorua all inked out. Our next step is actually going to be taking an eraser and erase over it to get rid of any pencil detailing that was left over. This as well could be a little redundant, but it's all part of the process. That made a loud squeak. That made a very loud squeak. I did not know pencil erasers were meant to squeak. That's very interesting. I get another squeak. What is it with this thing? It's squeaking. Does that happen to you guys a lot? Or is it just me? Do I have this special squeaky pencil or something? I'll get all that pencil shavings, or eraser shavings out and pour those over there. Yeah, there could be some spots you miss at times, just because that's really hard to see, especially when you ink it out. But you definitely want to get rid of as much as possible. So there he is, and our last step, where we're gonna have some fun and color him. I know what his usual colors are, but for this special video, I'm actually going to make him shiny Zorua. So let's start with all the blue parts first. Now what I'm using here is actually something called watercolor pencil, but you can use regular color pencils, markers, crayons, anything really. I'm just using these because I have them. Really, they are not necessary at all. So I'm scribbling the little feet there. Scribbling the feet. Last up, we're going to scribble in the little fluff ball. And there may or may not be a name for the thing on his head, but I am always going to call it a fluff ball. Just because it sounds cool. Want to be sure to color that in pretty good to get rid of as much white as possible. Yeah, the more blank space you leave out, the more it detracts from the illusion. Haha, get it? Illusion? Yeah, that was corny. I had to tell that joke. Anyway. Alright, so that takes care of all the blue parts on him. Next up, we're going to take a black one and just color in the little nose there. The inner parts of his ears. I'd say I love the way shiny Zorua looks. I actually do have a shiny Zoroart, believe it or not, which was originally a shiny Zorua. And that was pretty cool, raising him and EV training him and all that. I know Zoroart in general is not really good for competitive video game play, even I have to admit that, but I try to use him as much as I can anyway. Just because he's so cool. Next up, we're actually going to color in the neck fluff. I know I have weird names for things, but please bear with it. It's just how I roll. Neck fluff! Yay! I'm sorry, I just had to say a little something random there. Now if you're one of those people that likes to focus in absolute quiet, that's really cool, but if you're those like, at times where you need just a little something to help you get motivated, pumped up, what I usually like to do a lot is actually just have a little jam session whenever I'm making art. Gets you pumped up, gets you focused, and it really helps you make your song good. I'm actually going to zoom in here a little bit. Now I'm going to color in the eyes. Now we're just going to color in red around this space here. Not going to color the outside or the people. I'm going to leave those alone. Alright. Zoom back out. And finally, we are going to color his fur, which is going to be brown. Yep, a lot of brown's going to be on this Zorua. Those of you who are probably using marker, you're probably already finished coloring him, if you already know what the colors of shiny Zorua or regular Zorua. Yeah, honestly, I would be using markers too if I had them, but gotta work with what I got. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to acquire some special markers and I could demonstrate with those. Yeah, this could take a little while. I apologize for that. Next up, we're going to color in the legs. Color in the little tiny body now. Want to get rid of all that white there. No white, you are not welcome here. Alright, and lastly we're going to color in his tail. It's alright if you color over the lines here since it's all going to be brown anyway. And with this thick pen, it's not like you're going to be able to like cover it. So it's all good for those of you who like to color outside the lines like me. Kind of like to think outside the box. And there we have it. Shiny Zorua. Very excited about this. Very happy to do this video. Show everyone. I realize I may not be the best artist in the world, but hopefully one day I will be improving and improving. But if I'm able to just teach one person from this today, then this video was 100% success. So there you have it. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how I did. Was I good? Was there some things I need to improve on? I would love nothing more than honest feedback. Would truly appreciate it. This has been N with the Pokemon Evolutionaries, signing off, and we'll see what we got next time.